The other day I was thinking, the only people in the world who might know you your whole life are your parents and your older siblings. Everybody else are people you meet along the way of life, and you meet them at a certain point in time, which is to say, they've lived a whole lot of history before you met them. So you might be thinking, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it means that each person, each life is such a treasure, such a deep mystery that we will never know completely. The last couple of weeks, I've had the privilege of accompanying a few families as they prepare to say their final goodbyes to loved ones who had passed away. I say privilege because I got to hear stories about these incredible human beings who I hardly knew, and yet I felt a certain sense of loss because they were gone forever. To sit there with their spouse and their children, listening to them speak of this person and the life they'd lived, made me realize how every life is so significant, even if it doesn't seem like it is. And everyone leaves many more footprints in the sand and on the heart than they could ever imagine. A very wise person once said, when someone dies, a library burns to the ground. What a great analogy. Each person is truly a library filled with stories, some sad, some funny, some inspiring, some extremely ordinary, and others extremely extraordinary. My sister and I have been trying to put together a biography of my grandmother. Unfortunately, we have lots of questions, but sadly, there's no one to ask who would have the answers. They left this world and took that information with them. But when Grandma was alive, it would never have occurred to us to ask her why she moved from Illinois to Michigan and then back again, how she met a man from New Mexico that became her husband, and how she, without much education, came to be the CEO of two nursing homes that she and her husband started. Why don't we appreciate people while we have them here with us? These past few months have been gifted to us. Hopefully, one of the really good things that has happened is that we've come to value even more our family and friends. I know it's been an especially hard time for grandparents who can't be with their grandchildren to hug them and hold them. And even our friends that we've been able to greet only from a distance by phone or by text or with a distant wave with at least 6 feet and a mask between us. What are you thinking these days as you watch the latest events occurring in our country and in the world? Do you take a side? Are you judgmental of one opinion more than another? The first night of protests in Des Moines, I was watching the events unfold on TV with a friend, social distancing, of course. And she said, if you look at each person individually, you know that each one is a good person. And it's so true, but too often we judge by appearances, by hair length and clothing choices, and of course the color of the skin or the shape of the eyes. How different our world, our community would be if we could leave all our preconceived attitudes and ideas to one side and really see each other as God sees us, each one a beautiful piece in the mosaic of God's awesome creativity. Let's not wait until it's too late to appreciate each other, until they've gone, or until there's no one left to answer the questions. This time is gift.